Hey guys, it's Brian here, and welcome back to another review for the TheH0RR0Rman's Slashback Challenge. And a theme that Joe the Horror Man has set for this week is titled Traveler Slashers, which basically means a slasher film that involves some type of traveling. And the film I chose to review this week is named Terror Train. This is a 1981 slasher movie. This one stars Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, this was another one of those revenge-themed slasher films. Essentially, we have a group of medical students who play a really cruel prank on one of their fraternity brothers. And it goes, of course, it goes horribly wrong, and he ends up becoming mentally scarred. Now, it's 3 years later, and they have decided they're going to hold this New Year's Eve party on this train. And it's also a masquerade party, which I think is kind of weird as well. So I'm not really sure where the train is going. I don't know if it's traveling in a big circle. It's just going. They never establish where the train is going. But they're on this train now, and everybody's got masks on. But the killer has now returned, and he's picking off these people one by one, which is pretty much the plot for this movie. The thing I find most interesting about this movie is Jamie Lee Curtis's character was very complicit in the prank. Like, she was the main. She wasn't the ringleader, but she played a huge role in it. Like, they basically tell this guy that she's willing to sleep with him, and then they end up putting a corpse in the bed, and he flips out when he sees the corpse. But she was also in the room, and she was talking behind the bed, so he thought she was in there. So she played a big role. They tried to make her sympathetic because she showed some remorse, but she's still hanging around with the same group of assholes, which is led up by this guy named Doc. And in fact, it was his idea to have this party on this train. She thought it was her boyfriend's, but it was really his. And that makes her upset as well. But he's like this prankster, and that's supposed to be a theme throughout the film. So when people start dying, people don't believe it. They think it's actually him doing pranks when in fact they're actually being killed. This film also stars David Copperfield. He plays a magician in this one, obviously, right before he hit really, really big. And it also has Vanity from Vanity 6. She was a protege of Prince for a while there. She had a short music career. I didn't realize she was an actress before going into music. So there's that. I think she even dated Prince at one time. Now, another interesting thing about this film is that the main male lead in this movie is an actor named Ben Johnson. He's an older gentleman. I think he was probably in his 60s when he made this film, maybe even a little bit older. And he plays the train conductor, and he discovers that people are being murdered. So he's trying to catch the killer, while at the same time the killer has his sights set on Jamie Lee Curtis as his main prize. So that's pretty much what's going on there. It's just such a weird film. Now, that this film isn't very bloody at all. Like, the kills are all cutaways for the most part, and there's also a lot of deaths that happen off screen, which is really unfortunate. Like, I wish this film was a bit gorier than it was. Like, I like the setting of the train. And it's cool that the killer in this movie kills people and then steals their masks, so people think people are still alive and no one really knows who the killer is. And there's a decent reveal with the killer too at the end. I preferred it though had they done this more of a mystery, where people were keeping something hush hush. Like, I read that they actually went back and filmed the prank scene after the film was done, but because the film for the most part it plays like a guessing game, and we are thinking that a certain character might be the killer. But the thing is, we see the killer quite early on in the movie when he has the prank pulled on him, and the person that they're trying to be the main suspect looks nothing like um, the killer. So it would have been better if they actually kept it as a dark secret, so that the audience at least didn't know who the killer was. I guess that's pretty much it. That's my thoughts on this one, guys. I did enjoy it, although it wasn't as good as I remember when I was a kid, and it's definitely not as bloody as I remember when I was a kid. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll talk to you all later.